DC Universe Marvel Legends community. This is US Agent 2009 back to shoot part 2 of the Dark Knight Rises Movie Masters action figure review. Okay, where we left off. Okay, I'm going to start with Bane this video here, part 2. Basically, I really like this fig as much as I like the Alfred one. There's not really anybody in this set I don't like, to be honest with you. Again, really nice detailing on the coat, the paint, the texture. You're looking at some shading around the head where the head looks like it's shaved, the hair is shaved. A lot of detail went into the mask. I was really impressed with that. Detail and shading in the painting on the flaps of the jacket. It's a lot of detail work in the belt, I guess, and the straps. There's the little lines, the little rivets. Everything with this really looks good. I thought this fig was going to be actually a hard to find one when it first came out. I grabbed a couple of them. I know Screaming Banshee Toys put a few in their store. I'm thinking most of this line will go up in value. Once it all levels out and everything, and the first wave of demand has been met, I think that people are going to realize how really short-packed and how hard this wave will be to find, say, 6 months from now, 8 months from now. I think a lot of people are going to wish that they had gotten it because as many as I'm seeing of Bane out there, which isn't a heck of a lot, I'd have to say it's the second most popular, falling behind Batman. Batman is everywhere. The detailing for the Batman I was actually looking at, and I really wasn't impressed with it, movie-wise or action figure-wise. That action figure, I went and I got my loose one from, I think it was the first movie or the second movie that I actually took out of the package. It really hasn't changed much. I would have to say, looking at it, it's pretty much the same action figure Batman-wise as the first movie with the new one. I'll match them up. I got the loose one in my hand here. Again, like I said, I thought Bane was going to be hard to find, but he actually is everywhere. But I just like the action figure. I'm really impressed with the way it came out. As far as anything else, there's a 2-pack of Batman and Bane out there. I'm not going to get it. It's going for like $25, $24 to $29. It's seriously just not even worth the money. When you look at Bane without the shirt, there's no real detail to him. He's pretty smooth, pretty uncut, and pretty just lame. I think the figure, I was going to say something else, but I don't want to offend anybody. I think the figure itself in the 2-pack without the shirt is just not even worth putting in a box. I mean, I would personally flush it down the toilet. But this figure is actually pretty sweet. Moving right along, one of the more hard to find ones, again, I do apologize for the lighting. Everybody in this set has a really dark paint scheme. Catwoman, goggles up. Now, when I say goggles up, there seems to be a variant out there. I've grabbed the variant. I have the variant. But regardless of goggles up or goggles down, she is a hard to find fig. Packaging isn't much different. It seemed to be adding a new figure every time you purchase one. I just like this figure all around. Now, some people are going to laugh. Some people are going to be like, what? At my next statement, which is, if I can get my hands on another goggles up one, I'm going to rip the head off of it. Now, when I say that kind of jokingly. I am going to rip the head off. I think that if I can get my hands on it, I'm going to actually customize it into a Black Widow for the Avengers movie line, which apparently they are not making an Avengers movie line Black Widow unless something has changed. Female action figures seem to be scarce these years. In the last few years, there's been a lot of complaints. People need to really drop it already. The complaints stem from lack of sales with female figs. The popularity has went down. Also, some people are offended by the sexuality, the provocativeness of female action figures. So they're not packing as many or designing as many female action figures. Girls want action figures too. There are girls out there like Batman, Superman, Marvel, DC, and I don't care if you're a boy or a girl who's 16, 8, 6, 16, 56. It doesn't matter, whatever. You want all the characters, and I think this is really lame that now they're being they're discriminating against what figs should be made. So, I don't know. I think anybody who has anything to say about this should try and appeal to these people, or not appeal to them, but voice their opinions. And like I said, I've never looked at an action figure and been a female action figure and been offended. I've never looked up the skirt of a female action figure and it never did nothing for me. So I don't know why anybody, parent-wise or anything else, should feel that female figures aren't necessary with an action figure line. Certainly if they're part of a team or part of a whatever it be. I know Superhero Sentinel donated action figures, and there was some female figures that they donated to charity for a school for kids who did really well and stuff like that, and needy people and needy children. And there was some questions about whether or not these figs should be released to children. Well, Miss Marvel is not offensive as far as I'm concerned. None of the action figures that were packaged were offensive. They don't show anything, and there's no actual genitals on them. So people need to lose the attitude. I think in this day's society, people will argue and discriminate against the color of water if they can. If they can find a difference in the shade of water, they'll gripe about it, and I think it's really lame. Moving right along, this one is the variant. The variant to Catwoman is actually goggles down, which I didn't know at the time there was a goggles down. Obviously, with goggles up, the glasses are flipped up over her head. They also make for the cat ears for Catwoman. This is with the goggles down over her face. It actually makes it look like a totally different action figure, just in that little change. I'm not going to take this one out of the package, nor am I going to rip the head off of it. I think that the availability of this action figure is going to be very low. It's very short packed, and for whatever reasons, it's going to be very scarce. I did find it at Barnes & Noble. I wasn't going to say anything, but who cares? It's the only one I've saw outside of the internet, and the prices online weren't through the roof, but they were quite pricey. If you're a collector, price is never really anything, but still, again, if you get your hands on any of the line, I would hang on to them. Like I said, I'm not opening them up or putting them on display because I have no need to in my displays. Defaced value or not, it's staying in the package. I think the whole line will be rare. This figure in case will be very rare. One action figure that I didn't necessarily need, I don't have the regular of, but I did grab it because it was a variant. If you can believe, a sticker on the front that says only at Kmart is actually something to get excited about. The whole outfit itself, display-wise, is not very exciting. I'm going to move on to the third video with this and end with this one. But the only variation in this is the 3 blueprints that are at the bottom. They're blueprint cards. I don't know if they're plastic or if they're actual cards. I'm not going to take them out of the package. Poorly designed action figure. Looking at it, pretty much almost looks, well, it is. It's pretty much the same action figure from the first line. So you decide if it's actually worth putting into your collection, whether it be the variant or not. I think they could have done more with this. I'll talk about it more in the next video. This is U.S. Agent for Screaming Banshee Toys, SuperheroSentinel.com, U.S. Agent 2009, YouTube. Check out my links on Facebook. Screaming Banshee Toys on Amazon, SuperheroSentinel.com. Peace.